HOA Karen ruined pool filter system, got slammed with $200,000 fine and forced to fix it all. The summer sun blazed over Willow Creek, a quiet suburban enclave where manicured lawns and sparkling pools defined pride. Tom Reynolds, a soft-spoken engineer, cherished his backyard oasis, a pristine pool where his kids splashed and neighbors gathered. But peace shattered when Karen Mitchell moved in next door, her arrival marked by an obsession that would unravel the community. Flowers. Karen, a retired florist with a sharp tongue and sharper grudges, declared her yard would be a living masterpiece. She planted exotic blooms, none more prized than her rare orchids, which she tended with near-religious zeal. But her garden encroached on Tom's property line, her irrigation system flooding his yard, clogging his pool filter with dirt and petals. Tom, ever patient, asked her politely to adjust her sprinklers. Karen's response was a sneer. "Your pool's an eyesore. My flowers are art." Weeks passed and the problem worsened. Tom's pool water turned murky, the filter system groaning under the strain of Karen's runoff. He spent $3,000 on repairs, only for the system to fail again. Frustrated, he rallied neighbors to file a complaint with the Homeowners Association, HOA. Karen, undeterred, doubled down, planting more flowers and accusing Tom of sabotaging her vision. The HOA meeting was a powder keg. Karen stormed in, waving a petition signed by a few sympathizers, claiming Tom's pool violated community aesthetics. Tom, voice trembling, presented photos of the damage. A once clear pool, now a swamp of debris. The HOA ruled in Tom's favor, ordering Karen to redirect her irrigation or face fines. She laughed it off, calling the HOA a bunch of pool-worshipping bureaucrats. The conflict escalated when Karen, in a fit of defiance, dug a trench to divert more water toward Tom's yard, claiming it was her right. The next morning, Tom woke to a flooded backyard, his $50,000 pool filter system spewing oil and grinding to a halt. Repair estimates soared to $150,000. Furious, Tom confronted Karen, who stood smugly among her orchids. "You wanted a fight. You got one," she snapped, brandishing her spade like a weapon. Neighbors gathered, some shouting support for Tom, others egging Karen on. The air crackled with tension, a suburban showdown under the blazing sun. Enter Mrs. Ellis, an 80-year-old widow who rarely left her porch. She'd watched the saga unfold, her sharp eyes missing nothing. Unbeknownst to the neighborhood, Mrs. Ellis was a retired environmental lawyer with a knack for uncovering truths. She hobbled over, leaning on her cane, and dropped a bombshell. Karen's exotic orchids were illegally imported, violating federal regulations. Mrs. Ellis had quietly documented Karen's deliveries, cross-referencing them with customs records. The crowd fell silent as she produced photos of Karen's orchids, tagged with Latin names only a botanist would know. "These flowers aren't just ruining Tom's pool," Mrs. Ellis said, voice steady. "They're a federal offense." Karen's smugness crumbled. The HOA, now backed by Mrs. Ellis's evidence, escalated the case to the county. Inspectors swarmed Karen's yard, confirming the orchid's illegal status. The environmental damage from her irrigation contaminating the local water table with pesticides added fuel to the fire. The verdict was brutal: a $200,000 fine for environmental violations, plus an order to dismantle her garden and pay for Tom's pool repairs. Karen's face drained of color as she realized her masterpiece had cost her everything: her savings, her pride, and her place in Willow Creek. But the story didn't end there. As Karen's garden was uprooted, Tom discovered a hidden cost. His kids, once carefree, refused to swim, haunted by the neighborhood's vitriol. The community, once tight-knit, fractured into cliques, some vilifying Karen, others pitying her. Tom, too, felt the weight of victory. He'd won justice but lost the harmony he cherished. Karen, stripped of her flowers, moved away, leaving behind a barren yard and a bitter legacy. In a final twist, Mrs. Ellis invited Tom to her porch one evening. She handed him a faded photo of a young woman planting roses. Karen, decades ago, before life hardened her. "She wasn't always like this," Mrs. Ellis said softly. "Loss does strange things to people." Tom learned Karen's husband had died years earlier, her flowers a desperate tether to happier times. The revelation didn't erase the damage, but it shifted Tom's perspective. Karen wasn't just a villain. She was a woman broken by grief, lashing out in the only way she knew. The pool was fixed, but the scars remained. Willow Creek's residents rebuilt, but the trust was gone. Tom stood by his clear pool, watching his kids dip their toes in hesitantly, and wondered if justice was worth the cost. Karen's fine was a headline, but the real story was the community's unraveling a cautionary tale of pride, vengeance, and misplaced passion. What do you think? Was Tom right to fight for his pool, or should he have sought peace with Karen sooner? Share your thoughts on justice and community conflict.